Hey, what's up guys, it's Dr. Sammy, and today I want to share with you this technology that I've been using a lot for my patients interested in porcelain veneers, cosmetic dentistry, full mouth reconstruction, and things like that. What I find is that a lot of patients that are unhappy with their smile are afraid to jump into it because they don't really know what the outcome will be. Nowadays, we have so much amazing digital technology that makes the process a bit more predictable and a bit more seamless. I was a little bit late in the digital world, and we recently got a digital scanner called the Medit i700. The Medit scanner allows you to avoid those traditional impressions with trays that you put in someone's mouth with the goopy impression material. So the amazing thing about being able to scan someone's teeth digitally that goes to a computer is that you can get very accurate impressions if you do it the right way. You can send the case electronically, which means that the case is sent faster, okay, towards the laboratory of your choice, and it doesn't get distorted. But what's also amazing about the digital scanners is that when you scan your teeth, do a lot of cool things like restorative dentistry, orthodontics, aligner cases, really predictably. So without further ado, let's go ahead and look at the application associated with the Medit scanner that does the digital smile design. So this is the Medit smile design application. First thing you're gonna do is align these points right where the pupils are, and we call that the interpupillary line. And we're gonna align this line right here, right in the midline of the face. And we hope that the midline of the face is coincident with the midline of the teeth, but if it's not, we can make modifications as we need. So I'm just gonna put those points there. This is gonna be kind of along the side wall of the nose, here and here. We have this line right here, which is supposed to go at the incisal edge of the teeth. And then we have this lip line that we wanna modify to fit the face. Now, the artificial intelligence already did most of the work for us, but I'm simply gonna go ahead and click Modify Lip Line, and this is so nice. We're just gonna go ahead and drag these points to follow the natural contours of this person's lips. I'm gonna use this right here, maybe add a point over here, move this here, and already within a couple of minutes, I've got somewhat of an idea of where the lips are, I have the face, and that looks pretty good. The next step is we're gonna go into consultation mode. In consultation mode, it's gonna prepare the template, and it's gonna put a variety, almost like a template, a basic template that fits the patient's mouth. Now we're gonna modify this template to make it a little bit more accurate. So the first really cool thing that we can do is we can change the general shape of the teeth. We have a triangular shape here, oval shape, square shape, which is very common for men because square is a more masculine feature. We have triangular modified shape, we have oval shape. So when I look at her mouth, I think, let's just work with the triangular modified shape. Now what we're gonna do next is line up the smile. So I'm gonna grab all of these teeth, I'm gonna move it upward, just like this, kind of following the lower lip line. And then I'm gonna start moving each tooth one by one. And there's a lot of things that we can do here that I'm gonna show you in just a bit. The first thing that I notice when I look at this person's smile is that she does have a lot of her gums showing, and we wanna cover that with teeth if possible. If this was a real life case, then we'd obviously have to get a consultation with the periodontist to do something called crown lengthening surgery. Your gums follow the bone, and if you have that much gums exposed, it's not as easy as taking a laser and trimming the gum back. Typically you have to do a surgery where you trim the bone down, and then your gums lay on top of that bone, and then as your gums heal, they're gonna heal a little bit higher. But when we have these complicated cases, if I can show my patient with the smile design software what to expect, it's gonna be more likely that they feel comfortable proceeding to the next step. When we look at this, another cool thing that we can do is we can select each individual tooth. These are the centrals, these are the laterals, the canines, the premolars, and we can individually move them up one by one. And if I double click on it, I can actually move these points, which is pretty cool, okay? So let me go back. I like where this is at. Maybe we want the laterals a little bit higher. Maybe we want the canine a little bit higher where the gingival zenith is essentially at the same level of the centrals. And this tooth over here is gonna be higher. I want the lower lip line. I essentially want the incisal edge to follow the lower lip line. So if we take this canine, we'll move it up a little bit. When we're making changes to one side of the mouth, you have the option of mirror the editing process to the opposite side, or copying the editing process to the opposite side. So if I copy right now, you're gonna see that other tooth just increased in length. How easy was that? I used to use a spear template when doing these designs back in the day, and it just wasn't as easy as this, especially with all the shapes available to you, especially with these easy controls that we could use. So I'm really happy with how Medit designed this application. So let's go to this canine. Let's go ahead and mirror the other side. Let's go to this tooth. We'll go ahead and mirror the other side. And then we can make some changes if we need to. I still want this to follow the lower lip line a little bit. I want this over here. Now, obviously this isn't perfect. Obviously this isn't perfect or an exact science. But you know, if you take enough time, you can go ahead and move this where you need to move it, maybe closer to this area. But for the purposes of this video, I just want to give you guys an idea. Okay, so let's just pretend that we like where the lengths are, and we kind of like where this is, and I'm just gonna fill that in over here. Other things that you can do is you can go ahead and, if you look over here, you can see there's a whitening level, so you can kind of show what whitening their teeth look like, which is kind of cool. I don't know if it's necessarily useful. Let me exit out of here so you can see it. Why don't you guys let me know, if you're a patient, is this something that would be helpful to know what whitening might look like when you smile? Yeah, put it down in the comment section below. And here's another option where you can show the golden proportion of teeth. It's essentially a ratio that gives you the most ideal width to length ratio for each tooth that is the most cosmetic or the most beautiful when you're doing smile design. If their eyes were exposed, it's your patient, you turn this on, they will actually blur out the eyes, which I thought is quite a nice touch. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and turn back this on so you can kind of see that this length of her teeth will significantly improve her gummy smile, but it still doesn't really show me exactly how it would look on her. So check this out. If I go ahead and I remove these lines, because it looks like it's kind of interfering with the process, let me remove this incisal edge line. Let me go ahead and remove these lines here, which looks like the canine lines, which match up to the sidewall of the nose. And let me also remove this line over here. Okay, there we go. Now, is this enough to give the patient an idea of where you would want the length of the teeth or the apex of the tooth or the gingival zenith to be? It does do a good job, but I don't think our patients are gonna have a good enough understanding of what's possible with this alone. So Medit really smartly added these templates that you can use with texture. So when you put the texture on, obviously this looks way off. So playing with the default texture, let's say we move the saturation up, we can get a little bit wider. I can get the highlights up, the brightness. I just want to show you how it looks like. You can go up and down, shadowing. If we don't want the shadowing, I can put it down or up, and gray. We don't want it to look black, so I'll put it right over here. And then opacity can show you what's underneath the teeth if you want to. And at this point, you could take multiple images showing what it would look like, you know, if it was covering the teeth. Once again, it's not perfect, obviously. It obviously looks fake here, but you can make it look pretty good. So let's try to make it look good right now. You can also play with these lines here. Because sometimes you want to see where the outline of the teeth are, but sometimes you don't. So I'm going to just push that a little bit down right there. And just like that, within a matter of, this says 12 minutes, but I'm also recording a video, but maybe 5 minutes, chair time, just kind of messing around, giving you a brief, quick idea, you can give the patient an idea of how their teeth would look like if they were to go through a major procedure like a crown lengthening procedure and veneers or any cosmetic dentistry. What you can do now is do a preview. And these previews are pretty awesome. You can either do a slider preview, which I'm gonna show you right now, where you can take this patient, and obviously, and this design still needs some work, but let me just show you what you can do. I mean, that's pretty amazing. Maybe it's not perfect. Yes, the design could use work, but within 5 minutes, showing the patient what's possible, I think that's pretty amazing. So let's go ahead and go back and make it look a little bit better. It's not perfect, but it does give you an idea of what's possible. And I think giving our patients, or if you are a patient, getting an idea of what's possible makes it more reasonable to jump into a big procedure like a full mouth makeover or like doing porcelain veneers. Once again, if you are a patient watching this and you are interested in getting porcelain veneers, what do you think? Is that something that you would want, or would you want to just jump right into doing the procedure? With that being said, obviously there are even better ways of showing the patient what's possible in the mouth. With these digital scanners, if you scan the patient's mouth, you can get the models, or you can get essentially a scan of someone's teeth. You can send it to a dental laboratory that can digitally design a smile where you don't even have to do this step. And then they will create a template that they will give to you. You can try in the template and you can see in your own mouth what's possible before even doing any drilling. And that is probably the highest standard, best way of you getting an idea of what's possible in your mouth. And I think that's the way it should be done for every case. This digital smile design is just an additional benefit that allows you to understand what's possible. Getting a mock-up, I think, is very important. Test driving the mock-up, making changes to the design. I mean, when you're working on your mouth and your smile, you want to make sure that you love the shape, the color, the contour of your teeth. And everyone has a different aesthetic eye. Everyone has a different aesthetic eye. Some people want their teeth bulky and square and super white, and that's just the look that they like. And some people want a more natural look. And the only way that we can do that is by using smile design software, by using mock-ups in the mouth. And I think this digital technology has made it a little bit more seamless, a little bit more predictable. I definitely think more people are going to be using it in the future. Either way, I'm a fan, and I hope you guys are too. Have a good day and take care.